Usually young girls in little clothing. So I'm just down at the beach right now. I wonder if you can jump up into the water. I bet you can. Even street DJs, look at that. We have some video games in here. I don't rate the quality too much. What do you think? Good morning, and today we are in Rimini, Italy. Now Rimini is known for its beaches, nightclub scene, partying and endless hotels. The actual strip of Rimini is around 10 kilometers that way and another 5 that way, so it's almost like 15, perhaps more kilometers of beachside tourist attractions, shops, restaurants and everything else, and it is crazy. Right now it's only 8 a.m. so we're pretty early. We're only with the breakfast goers, but we're gonna have a look around Rimini, talk about what it's like, the hotels, the parking and everything else. So I'll see you very soon. Alright. So when arriving here you have a couple choices if you're deciding to drive. You can park on the seafront here and pay, or you can enter the free-for-all. Now the free-for-all you can pretty much park for free, but you're going to be driving up and down a lot of these hotel roads here like these. If you do decide to stay in a hotel, the parking, don't be surprised if it's the same rate as one night of staying in a hotel. So maybe 24 euros a night, the parking will be 25 a night, and that will give you sort of under hotel guaranteed parking. But most people, it's a free-for-all. Typically your car's usually okay as well. So I thought the layout of the beach was quite interesting. What you'll see is these numbered zones here. So that one's 128, then 129, and it will keep going all the way to perhaps 200 that way, but certainly all the way to 0 that way. And the hotel will either own 1 or 2 of these numbers. So you check in at your hotel, they'll say you can use anything in beach facility 128 and 129. You come to this area, you can leave your key here if you want to go swimming. You can use the facilities, maybe they have a discount on a restaurant or a bar here, and you can use all of the endless chairs all over the beach as well. So that's typically how it works. A lot of hotels don't really notice if you use theirs, it just really depends. So this is kind of how that works. You can use these keys here and that'll give you access to the toilets. Pretty much by default they're all locked, so you would check in at the beach reception for your hotel, like this one here, 129. And then, well, you can use any of the chairs in the area. Look at that. Typically it's mostly empty, to be honest. Now this is a Saturday, it's a bit later now. You can see there's like 4 people here, so there's never really a fight for space or anything like that. So all of these will have different things, and I think it's a case of looking at their website to see what they have. You see one has a little granny type gym here, a couple of umbrellas. Others will have kids playgrounds. Others will have nice little drinking areas with cocktails and music. So it's basically a lot of research to find the best one and work out which hotel it belongs to. If your hotel's a chain, then sometimes they share, so you get that benefit as well. And anyone can use the beach, it's just that you can't really touch any of these chairs. It all belongs to the hotels. So in that case, you have to go all the way to the end, and then you can enjoy the beach if you're not staying at a hotel. But that seems to be how it is. A lot of the beach is privatized, sadly. You see it in other countries, but you know, that's life sometimes. So you can see that one, we have ping pong. We're moving over here, we have basketball. We have some beach balls here. But sometimes it's an element of just, you know, getting lucky. Some have showers, some don't have showers. So I guess a lot to consider really. Well, what's really cool, the whole beach path here has a cycle path, a walking trail, and in a lot of cases you see these calisthenics gyms. Some have the rings stolen, but a lot of them have like jumping squat platforms, pull-ups, dips, and all different things. So even the sort of cables there. So
yes, you see? You see?
it's a really good way to stay fit, especially if you stay in an all-inclusive, which a lot of these hotels seem to have. You can easily eat yourself into oblivion, but at least there's a way to try and undo that in the daytime, which might be what I'm doing right now. Now Rimini is full of abandoned places like this one here, and you'll find people living in here, doing their laundry, all kinds of things. I know because I went in one the other day, and it's not the only one. There's a lot of abandoned places, so it's quite interesting. Perhaps maybe what this town used to be, maybe it was a COVID thing, I'm not sure, but I definitely noticed a lot of abandoned buildings around here. So I've just ran maybe 3 miles, 5 kilometers down the beach, and you can see everything looks so different already. We've got a mini harbor with boats, got restaurants, cafes, all different kinds of things. And because the sea line is so long, you're going to see lots of different things. The hotels get a little bit more fancy down south as well, but it seems like more party central up north and more sort of relaxed down south. At least that's my impression anyway. So as we move further south, you can see got some fancy fountains. We have a main stage for perhaps concerts or music or something like that. Some little beachside restaurants, but also the hotels like a lot more fancy, a lot more upmarket, and there's a lot of shops to match that as well, a lot of high street stores and things like that. So it does look, the further south you go, the more kind of fancy, expensive, but also really more quiet it is as well. So I guess you have a choice whether you prefer cheap with atmosphere or the opposite, I guess. I think coming over to the reserved beach places down south as well, you can see quite a big difference. Now there is some volleyball up there, but I don't really see like bicycle rental, nice little restaurants like this with seating and things. So it seems to be a difference pretty much in the entire area as well. This hotel has its own theme tune, look at this. So maybe the Bodrum of Turkey, the Split of Croatia, or even the Blackpool of the UK. Although that's a bit unfair on Rimini, to be honest. No one wants to be like Blackpool. So we're gonna have a look at some of the streets. So we've got arcades here, video game arcades. You'll see a lot of cafes here. And what you'll see a lot of, especially in northern Rimini, is burgers, fries and dirty hot dogs, where a hamburger can cost you €8 and up. Usually in Italy, if you eat here, you'll pay for the table. That could be anywhere from €2 to €3, depending on the restaurant you're at. It's very common, so you'll see a lot of locals ordering a coffee and standing up, so that's something to note as well. There's a lot of tourist gift shops here. Everything seems to be 10, 12 euros, shirts, shorts, flip-flops, all things like that. And you'll see that all along the stretch here, the shops will like slowly repeat. The owners will sit outside the stores there in chairs. Maybe they'll have drinks and beers, but a can of Coke is going to cost you around €2.50 for just over 300 milliliters, so not too great. This is the hotel we're staying at, Hotel Galileo. They're linked with another one called Arlino. Now these are 3-star hotels, so they're not too bad. Sometimes you get a stinky drain or something like that. It is what it is. But the lower the star, the less tourist tax you pay. So tourist tax is a little bit interesting. Let's just get by this restaurant and then we'll talk about that maybe. So there's some of the food here. But it's very hard. If we look at the prices here, look, starters. This is what you'll see typically in places like that. That's pretty much an average price of food you might want to eat. So right now it's Saturday, so a little busy. People are slowly waking up, but definitely the mornings are very quiet here. And the evenings are very bustling and busy, full of party goers, people drinking and things like that. But these shops are pretty much open all the time. I came round at 8 in the morning and they were open, so you can always buy things. But most of the owners are from maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure where they're from. maybe India, Pakistan, something like that. I'm not really sure, but well, this is just one street over from the beach. So coming back to the hotel thing, so you pay tourist tax for the first 7 days in Rimini. Now this is just Rimini. You go to a different city, different rules. So the first 7 days you pay tourist tax, and it's on the star of the hotel. So 2-star hotel, €2 per person per night. 3 stars, 2.5 euros per person per night. So it can add up as well. So that's something to bear in mind. But I think 3 stars is a nice medium, you know, if you don't really care about luxuries and things. It's very comfortable. But the only thing to note is if you have a car, the parking. Parking is a nightmare, but you can get lucky. So there's no problem with that at all. So this is where we ate yesterday. It's an Egyptian, I believe, ran pizza, kebabbery, and everything else. And usually when you eat in one of those places, the quality is bad because they do pizza, they do everything basically. We all know this, but the pizzas were actually really good. They were oven cooked, and surprisingly the food was nice and the reviews are good. So my brain's kind of tripping out on that, but if you're on a budget, it's one of the cheapest places to eat. Yeah, so you see a lot of these places, like I was saying before, like little Costco hot dog, full chicken. It's just pretty much drunk food, yeah, okay. But yeah, but that's pretty much everywhere, right? Every city. Look at that, kebab pizza, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's sort of like typical food you'll see, especially in northern Rimini. Alright, I think we're safe. So there's some mini markets here. You can get like a few veggies, and I have these. It's like breakfast crackers. Apparently they're really popular here. It's not a big supermarket, but if you go maybe just under a kilometer that way, you can see Lidl, Aldi, and Eurospin, where you can get a lot more things a lot cheaper. But if everything is closed, these places are usually open a little later. But they do have some hot food as well, but I don't rate the quality too much. What do you think? So there's a pro tip around here. If you want to buy a cold drink, there is a huge markup. So when you go to buy it, they'll feel the temperature of the drink and then charge way more. So normally this drink is 55 cents. But because it was cold, she wanted €2. So I just went back and switched it out again. But it's something to note. It's very different here. So right now it's 10:30 p.m. Let's take a little look at the difference. All right. So you can see there's actually a lot more people at night than in the daytime. People have overflowed over to the tables. I wonder if the menu is the same price. I think this is the one we looked at earlier actually. Yeah, I think it is. I don't think the prices seem to change. Let's have a little look at the atmosphere though. Everything's pretty lit up. Look at the trees. Shop's still open. Shop's open all the time. Pretty much almost 24/7. So a lot of people get these braids done here. You'll see people with braids of all colors, I guess, from kids to adults. So it seems to be very successful. I see a lot of people getting their braids done here. I don't think I've seen that in many places, to be honest, especially in Europe. I'm gonna see if we can go over to the beach and see if it's more happening here. Got some little cycles here. Let's have a look. Alright, so every restaurant is so full of people. You know, if you ever want to open a restaurant here, then wow, I think you'll be doing pretty well. It's so busy. All the hotels are fully booked up. It was almost impossible getting our hotel, to be honest. There's a little carnival here, some bumper cars. So we're just going over to the beach now, having a little look what's around there, because we have all those hotel areas where they reserve the numbers, and I think some of those places open up as well, so you can chill out by the beach. So the beach areas here, well, I guess it depends where you go, but pretty quiet at 10:30 anyway. Yeah, look at these seats. Wow, it's just emptiness. But I bet if you grab a couple cans or something and go by the sea there, I think it's pretty peaceful. I think most people are either eating or They're in restaurants or something, but certainly the beach looks very peaceful after 10 p.m. Wow. A lot of people sell their own merchandise here. It's probably used, it's probably from China. Might even be stolen, I'm not sure, but at least you can buy some knickknacks at night time from somebody's picnic blanket. I remember that, the mandolino. You even find it on the beach at night time. Oh, he's doing toasted corn, look at this. Wow. Got some candies, nuts here, candy apples. What's the price here? €4. Or 40 euros a kilo. So 4 euros, 100 grams. Very expensive. Our giant gummies. Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. Huh. 4 euros, 100 grams. Yeah, that's nothing in peanuts. A lot of jewelry here. I don't know if it's legit jewelry, but there is there is jewelry. So wheedling in and out right now. But I didn't see these in the daytime. We came here in the daytime. There's phone cases here. Yeah, none of this was here in the day. It's pretty much just nighttime here. So I'm guessing you can rent a gazebo and sell some things. Popcorn, 3 euros. Wow. What's going on here? Arts and crafts. More jewelry. A lot of jewelry. More hairstyles again. You can get your braids done. Cornrows. The cornrows, right? I think they're cornrows. Euro. Yeah, what you'll see a lot here is Euro stores. And it will say €1, everything's a euro. But you get inside and nothing is a euro. So that does happen. That does happen a lot. But some wooden statues here. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, so wow. So yeah, little beach market at night time. I'm not sure how legit it is, but the prices don't seem too bad, so I guess it's a win-win, right? Yeah, this is a Saturday night vibe. Look at this. And maybe all the crazy people are in the discotheque or the bars by now, but certainly by the beach or the boardwalk, it's pretty peaceful. You can get a can of beer, chill out, relax. Look at that. Okay, very similar to the UK actually. There's a lot of seaside arcades. I'd probably say in this whole area, maybe 40 or more. It's absolutely crazy. But they actually have some video games in here. It's not just redemption and things like that. Plus some coin pushers. But I don't think they can put money in here. They have to be tokens, something to do with the gambling license, I guess. Oh yeah, some games in here. You can do some stuff. It's probably not the best arcade in Rimini, to be honest, but to show you. But they have some things, so yeah, pretty cool. Even street DJs, look at that. Look at him go. So I've only ever seen this in Italy. I don't know if you can see behind me, but they hire people just to stand in front of the store, and it's usually young girls in little clothing, and their job is to pretty much get people's attention, and then I guess they stop and buy something. I think that's the logic, but I've not only seen it here, but I've seen it in shopping malls and lots of other places as well, but I've never seen it outside Italy. Well, maybe Thailand, but I'm struggling to think of many other places. Welcome to Rimini. He just got a prostitute here. He just got a prostitute. He's following her. He's following her. Wow. Welcome to Rimini, the land of t-shirts, inflatables, and prostitutes. Yeah, so they all seem to be going to this nondescript office block over there for some late night action, if you're curious. So I'm just down at the beach right now. Very hot day. I think every day is really hot. But yeah, even the section your hotel is in extends to rentals as well. I believe you get a discount on rentals here. Here there's a rowboat with a built-in slide, and you can sort of pedal that out into the water and have your own mini water park. I think someone's doing it over there somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna have a little look at the water, see how clean it is. But yeah, the beach, kilometers of beach. But this section, you don't need a hotel. It's just if you want extra things like seating and things like that. But I mean, it's a public beach at the end of the day. Well, apparently it's a public beach at the end of the day. So let's take a little look. A lot of shells here. Shells everywhere, in fact. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, and here's the water. I think it goes out very shallow. You can see they're quite far out, but they're still only up to their waist over there. There's some kind of mini waves. Looks like there's a little pier or something there. I wonder if you can jump up into the water. I bet you can. But yeah, Rimini Beach, very nice, approved, and you can bring your own alcohol and food here, I think. At least just don't tell anyone. I think it's okay. What more to say about a beach, huh? Wow. Check this out, look. These little tables here have little, well, I guess that's for cigarettes, but they have a little security box for your valuables, so you can put your wallet, car keys, and things in there. I'm not sure how it works, but I'm sure you can ask someone. Never seen that before actually, but yeah, pretty cool. Look how fine the sand is here. The best way to work out how fine the sand is, you grab a handful and squeeze really tight, and if it's still escaping then yeah, it's really fine. Look at that. Wow. Damn, if you wondered what a nightclub looks like in Rimini, well, there you go. No frills, right? Wow. Fishy. So right now we're just maybe 20 minutes north of the main Rimini beach area, and you wouldn't even know you were in Rimini. Well, technically we're not, we're in a different town, but it's the same kind of coastline. And look, it's like completely like forested here. Look at this. It's like a completely different feel, a completely different area. And just 10 minutes away, or by bus or car, but I guess 10 minutes if you run really, really fast. But yeah, I thought it was super interesting. There's a little bit for everyone, I guess.